Yet again, over the past couple of days, guys, Thorin doing what Thorin does. He says a lot of great things out there. Some of those things do bite back, and he ends up eating his words. If you guys did miss it a couple days back, Flashpoint, their first season, is now moving online. I'm sure you guys have seen all the videos out there about the coronavirus spreading throughout esports. We've covered it certainly a lot on this channel as well. Flashpoint, now the latest target amongst many of esports events. The CSGO Major already in question as well. If you guys can name an esport, it's probably been postponed, delayed, or if not canceled in some fashion by this virus. It was actually Thorin a few days back, I think actually longer than that ago, talking about how Flashpoint was the only remaining and the best online LAN league ever since ESL announced they were going online. Flashpoint was still on LAN at that point throughout their first week of matches, and now they are moving also to online. Do I think it's that big of a deal? No. Did my camera guy have a fun time with the thumbnail? Yes, probably so, and certainly there are a lot of questions remaining about this first season and of course about Flashpoint going forward. We've already compared their teams. We've already talked about supposedly finding those teams outside a certain ranking, $100,000 per month, which does need to be talked about considering I would say at least half the founding teams in Flashpoint League are probably outside that ranking. We'll see if they do get fined $100,000 per month of being outside that ranking. And speaking of which, we now take away the biggest and best factor of Flashpoint, that being the fact it was on LAN, in studio. Trash talk could be heard amongst these teams face to face, and the talent as well also being a huge part of that, and now it's gone. Will viewership be affected? Viewership, I would not say was a stellar or amazing the opening week of matches. This probably, will it hurt viewership? Will it make it better? Who knows? Flashpoint certainly, again, probably not concerning for the prolonged future, but certainly has to be questioned of what its future might be. Also, it's been what, like 2 weeks now since Mad Lions mysteriously dropped Hunden and then didn't really try to qualify for the major, and they've still not explained exactly why. You know, they replaced him with a Cillian, obviously, but Hunden couldn't try and qualify them for the major run. I don't know. That still has not been explained, so we'll see what comes of that in the future if an explanation is ever needed. I find it very, very weird that there's been so many things out there in CSGO that have just simply not been explained. I won't get heated as a... Okay, we'll step back on that and for a future video, because there have been a lot of stories we've covered here in CSGO that have still not been explained, and hopefully with a bit more power on this channel, maybe we can force out some explanations. Now, speaking of forcing something out there, that was so cringe. I do not like myself during this quarantine time. Either way, though, speaking of ESL Pro League, guys, and the upsets, I cannot name a time where I saw this many upsets. If you guys are betting men or women out there, well, if you bet the upset side of things, you probably did very well over the past 48 hours. And again, these upsets are just astonishing. Most of all, that being NIP taking down Astralis. Astralis, a victim of many teams out there lately, which I think a video is probably coming soon about them. This series was not even close. Then we have a team like Forza managing to take down a team like Complexity, and it just goes on and on and on. North somehow beat NaVi. This is probably the biggest one to talk about because NaVi is not notoriously an online team. In fact, they've been traveling so much over the past 2 years. This was their first online match, supposedly, over the past 2 years. That, to me, does not take away much. You expect NaVi to show up and beat a team like North, whether online or on LAN. You guys can preach all you want about these results not mattering, but certainly they do have some sort of impact at the very least. Then a team like Spirit, they take down ENCE. ENCE, I don't really know at this point in time exactly what they're going to be doing. And then to solidify the third top 5 team to lose so far during the early matches of ESL Pro League, yeah, it's going to be Team Big taking down Fnatic. I mean, guys, I really cannot name a time I have seen this many upsets. 3 of the top 5 teams in the world and 2 other, you know, obviously not underdogs. They were the favorites in their matchups, also losing. ESL Pro League online matches so far have been shocking and have hosted a lot of upsets. And it's going to make the later competition very, very cool to see where lower bracket matchups do go and how these teams who have already lost do fight back. Crazy, crazy times out there. Astralis lost. NaVi lost. Complexity lost. ENCE lost. ENCE, okay, not really surprised there. Fnatic all lose within 48 hours, and they were certainly the favorites in all their matchups. Stay away from gambling, my friends. But as always, until next time, I hope you guys all enjoy. Certainly trying to stretch stories a little bit thin because news is going to be a bit, it's going going to be a bit precarious as we do move on. If you guys do not know the updates here for the office, we are actually currently moving out some of the employees. I will be staying here to make videos for all of you. So certainly, if you guys have a topic or a story you want me to cover, feel free to shoot me a DM whenever you guys want. I will try my best to cover it. Until next time, hope you guys all enjoy breaking down CSGO esports gaming news here every single day, all day long. Until next time, bye.